thank you for tuning in to another episode of Sticky Notes Podcast. Okay, so today I have two special guests, and it's kind of funny the way I ran into these two guys because I was out at my bachelor party, and my guys were standing waiting for the bathroom. I think they were, and I was like, yeah, let me talk to these guys a little bit because I talk to everybody, yo. So I was like, I peeped your fit. I think you had like a jean jacket on or something with like, and I was like, yo, I was like, that's dope. And I started talking to you first, I believe, and I was like, yeah, these two people, they look and seem interesting, and I kind of got like a good sense for people and like energy. So and the way that you guys were kind of expressing, like the first thing you guys started talking about was your brain and what you do. That was like the first thing you guys said. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, so these guys got good energy. They don't even know who they're talking to right now. You know what I mean? So I introduced myself and told you guys what, I got a podcast. Y'all should come on the podcast. I didn't want to get too much into it that night because I was celebrating.
We was all lit. We was all lit.
Yeah, and y'all I didn't want to bug y'all, and I was like, okay, yeah, we can really dig into it when I get them on the podcast. So first, I wanted to talk about your clothing brand. I want to start with you first. I know you said you wanted to start with Rocket, but this is my podcast. So I want to start with you first. You know what I mean? Your clothing brand.
Yeah.
It's called
Boy Alone.
Boy Alone.
Yes, sir.
So what? All right. So that's a pretty unique name for a clothing brand. Where'd that come from? Where does that derive from? Where's it come from?
All right, so first of all, I want to appreciate you, for having us down here.
Yeah, man.
Of course.
I invited you, man.
Of
I
course.
wanted you guys. I wanted you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wanted you guys on here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So where's it from?
All right, so Boy Alone is it came from a deep story. You know what I mean? It relates to my fashion journey.
Okay, when did that start? When did your fashion, how old were you when you started doing that?
Okay, so I was 21 when I, started my fashion journey, you know what I mean? And trying to get up there, it was a lot of work. You know what I mean?
All right, first of all, I want to start with, where's your accent from? Where are you from?
Accent?
Where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
You're from Nigeria?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so how long you been in the United States?
So, I've been here for about 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Now, did this clothing, did your fashion journey begin in the United States or did it begin in Nigeria?
So you be going in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had this thing for fashion, you know what I mean? But I wanted a way to express myself, you know what I mean? So that's why I came up with my clothing brand, because I wanted something beyond fashion. I wanted to be able to speak to the people.
Okay.
You understand what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
So what were you when you started doing this? Because you've been in the States for 5 years. So how old are you now?
Okay, so I'm 25.
You're 25.
Yeah,
so you've been here since you were 20. So
yeah.
How old were you when you started making how did you begin to start making clothes though? Was it what was, especially in Nigeria, how accessible is it over there? 12, 13?
Now I was 18 when 18? I realized
that's what you wanted to do, that.
Yeah, now I was I could dress up.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right, so that's when you realized that when you put something together that you look fly.
Exactly, I was scared at first, you know what I mean? Cause
being different.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I was scared.
Now, what's the norm? What was the norm?
So the norm is just putting on your regular daily clothes.
Yeah, just slacks.
Yeah, slacks. But I was noticing.
I don't want to dress like that.
Yeah, okay. Exactly, cause my kind of fashion, they call it Ote fashion. You know what I mean?
Old time.
Yeah, Ote.
Ote.
Alternative fashion.
Alternative.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get creative with your clothes.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
And that kind of fashion requires a lot of confidence.
Okay.
So I was scared. At first, I was scared to like, you know, be out there and like, you know, just what would people think about this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause
So, all right. So what made you be like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna do it?
Yeah, so like, you know, when you get a lot of comments from people and like, you're like,
so that gave you the confidence.
Exactly.
You start noticing people were, you know, paying attention.
But I had self-doubt.
What did you do first though, like to make yourself different? Like when you said you got the confidence to do it, so what did you do first?
So I had a lot of self-doubt in myself, because sometimes I would just work out and I would just be like I would be scared, you know what I mean? Because I didn't feel like, because I was like, you know, looking at regular people, like everyone was looking normal, and like I always had jackets on, and I was like doubting myself, like, should I do this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, it was a part of me. You understand what I mean? Even when I try to be like normal, like I was always like just fly. So I was like, I was just like,
so
yeah, like you feel me?
How far can I push it? Type of deal.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what would you call your style?
Like I said,
you said
Ote, like alternative.
You have to send me so I can, you know, spell it out. Type of deal. Yeah. And like that kind of leads me to just like a little bit, because I'm looking at your style, and is this his style? Are you representation of his style?
No, I wouldn't say that, but we definitely like. I feel like we both dress in ways that we stand out. So like, I met him in Newark, and I was out there like showing people my music. So I showed him my music. He was like, "Yo, I make clothes, blah blah blah." It's like, "Yo, let's do photo shoots." I'm like, let's do it.
How did you were doing out there doing music?
Showing people, showing random people. No, we was at the bar.
Okay.
I was just pulling up on random people like, yo, listen to this, and getting their reaction.
You're originally from
Delaware.
You're from Delaware, and you said,
Middletown.
And you said you went where?
No, we was in Newark.
Okay, so you went to Newark.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And you were like just pulled up to the bar, and you was telling people that you make music and stuff. I've actually done something like that.
Yeah, bro, because like the internet is cool, but word of mouth is so much more powerful.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. That's I mean, see how we met.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
I just talk to people. Bro.
Exactly.
And I like to talk to people that are different, you know, like that.
Right.
Not different, just like, you know, that kind of stand out. You feel me? Because I feel like I kind of stand out. Like I've always felt like that. If I go into a room, I kind of stand out.
Yeah. I'll be feeling the same way.
So how did you make the transition? And when you came into the States, you were okay. So what was your first step into making your transition from Nigeria to here?
Okay, so first of all, I want to shout out to my boy Sky.
Okay.
Yeah, Sky
Shout
inside.
Sky.
You all the way in Nigeria.
Sky,
I hope he sees
man.
Oh, he sure will. If you can send it to him, he gonna see it.
I want to shout out to
Sky.
Sorry, I want to shout out to my boy NSI. He was the one that, like, you know, he had this clothing brand I did.
Okay.
Like, he had a clothing brand.
Now, is he like your old head or like a young boy or just a friend?
Yeah, he's like a friend, just like Rocket.
Alright.
Yeah, so like basically he
over there? He's over there?
Yeah, he over there in Nigeria.
Okay.
So we went to the same college. I went to college back in Nigeria, and you know what I mean? He got a clothing brand, and I was just into like fashion, like, you know, the regular dress up. And like we was like childhood friends, so he had the clothing brand, and I kept on supporting. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I basically kind of became an ambassador of the brand.
First you were just helping and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just dressing up at first. You know what I mean? Because, you know, clothing brand goes way farther.
He had the vision, and you were putting it on.
Exactly.
Presenting his image.
Exactly.
Kind of how I just was thinking.
Exactly.
But it's not, that's not really it.
Yeah. So like, to answer your question, our styles both stand out, but
kind of
they both,
yeah.
Like, I be on some rock star shit, but he a rock star too. So.
In his own way.
For sure. Yeah.
So how did so y'all met when you were handing out music and you were like, all right, I can use this guy. He could take pictures.
Nah, the energy was just
So
I pulled up on him.
Okay, so you approached him.
So he was showing me his music, you know what I mean? He was like, you know, promoting his music like various artists does, and I was just like listening. So we was basically just exchanging like energies and I was messing with his music. I was listening to it. I was like, alright, he different. And I was telling him about the brand, like what the brand like represents and all that. You know what I mean? So from there we just like, you know, let's just collaborate and like work on something.
One hand watch the other.
Yeah, and he's a lot of help, you know what I mean? His music, we try to like merge it together.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He does music, fly ass music.
I know, I heard some of your music when I get there. But yeah, I heard some of your music and I really like it.
So thank you, bro.
It's different, but it's not really different because there's other people who are doing that. It's relatable, you know what I mean? And I really like your stuff.
Thank you.
But so yeah, man. I think that you have something really good going, man.
Appreciate you.
And what's what's Boy Alone mean though? What's Boy Alone mean though?
Okay, so sorry, I'm gonna take a few steps back because I really want to like get it out there.
Bro,
cause
this is your time, bro. We chilling, man. That's what I said. We chilling, man.
So like, I wanted to go way beyond, you know, fashion, like dressing up. You know what I mean? Cause like, I feel like we got a purpose. Everyone could dress fly. You feel me? But like, what can you do with it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how can you inspire people?
Yeah.
How can you like, you know, pull people into your understanding? And like, Boy Alone was like what came up at the moment. It was like my process, what I was going through. So basically, I wanted to like express myself in a way that the fact that you're alone don't mean you're weak. You know what I mean? Like, you know, people relate loneliness with weakness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I was telling my boy out, like, you know, I'm like, the fact that you're alone don't mean you're weak. You know what I mean? Cause I was alone throughout my journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was alone in terms of like, I didn't get support from my parents.
Okay.
I didn't get support from people around me.
Yeah, how'd they feel about like what you felt like?
Cause I'm an African.
What did they want you to do?
Yeah, so you know, cause my parents African, you know what I mean. So they heavy on education.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They heavy on education.
Education.
Like school.
Yeah.
So like, you know, making that decision and like taking that route, it's a lot of like guts.
Okay.
You know.
So did you finish high school?
Yeah, I finished
you
school.
finished high school, but you didn't go to college.
Yeah.
They wanted you to go to college, but you wanted to pursue fashion.
Yeah. No, I still finished college.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, boy. I same time.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd be a proud father.
Yeah. So I did finish college, but
That's
like,
awesome.
You know, as my mom being around, you know, I feel like it's normal though among African parents. You know what I mean? Where they feel like you should like focus more. But I felt like this is what I was born for. You know what I mean? This is destiny, and like I'm trying to.
It's your life.
Exactly.
It's your life.
I'm trying to speak to the people that like the fact you're alone don't mean you're weak.
Yeah.
You know, this is strength.
Let them know that there's other people out there who feel the same way.
Yeah.
I feel you. That's like that's honorable. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
I understand where you come from.
Yeah, there's power in loneliness. Like you know, like after that stage of you feeling lonely, that's the time, you know, you could like, you know, focus.
We go up and away.
That's cool, man.
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate you guys coming here, man. You know, we like to spotlight people that have something going. You guys seem like you guys have something really going for you guys. So please go and check these guys out. Rocket, where can people reach you at?
Alright, so it's LuhRocketBang on all socials. I did just make another Instagram. So it's called not LuhRocketBang, but obviously it's me. You'll see it in the bio.
And you?
And MYRE_KAYY. I got my gram. I'll be active on there, you know. And I want to say something real quick. I wear my jacket like scars, you know what I mean?
What?
I wear my jackets like
You wear your
scarves.
jackets like
Yes,
jackets
sir.
like stars. Like a
That's
representation
nice.
of yourself.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That's
Yes,
awesome, man. That's
Yes,
awesome,
sir.
man. Other people look at what they got going on, because you could probably relate to what they're doing. What you know, you can look at their clothes and be like, okay, I like that. You know, like maybe I'm feeling this way. I can see what he was feeling when he made this. I could, you know, I kind of feel that. You know what I mean? So it's really different. To me, it's different. I don't see. There's not a lot of people that are doing what you guys are doing out here, and you guys are collaborating, which is awesome. That means, you know, one hand wash another. You know?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you
Yes,
guys
sir.
came here.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you, bro.
Dude, it was
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
Really.
You know, this is gonna blow up. Sticky Notes.
We
podcast,
going up.
Sticky nose.
Especially with I got.
The only way is up.
Podcast.
Yo, I got the next superstar.
The
on
only way
here,
is up,
Yes,
man.
sir.
and the next biggest clothing designer on here. We
The only way
going up.
is up.
Thank you, guys. You guys,
Appreciate
one
you,
last
bro.
word.
Appreciate
One last word.
you.
Anything? Anything? We gonna hang it up.
I just want to like, you know, appreciate you. You know what I mean? This means a lot, cause like, he just reached out. He was like, come on, you know, we gotta come down here, and like, not a lot of people are like that. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Not a lot of people.
It's about helping people, supporting. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I came from nothing, so I'm trying to bring everybody up.